Alexa, darling, what's the weather today?
In Plymouth, it's 28 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can look for snowy weather with a high of 32 degrees and a low of 28 degrees.
Nice.
Enjoy your morning.
Hey, you too. Oh, not even a thanks? What have we here? A little big rock that's been sitting outside all by itself. Slowly, we might be creeping into what I'm calling the 1/3. If you're interested in this video is going to be about what happened to the big rock and what is my other concern that I discovered that I didn't even bother wasting my time with. Has it caused further damage? So there was something going on with this big rock. This is a small negative, but it's still a negative. So we did obviously break the steering. Obviously you saw we had something that I called a floppy wheel issue. It's inevitable. Has my X-Max or anybody else's X-Max or any other vehicle had what's called a floppy wheel? Yeah, of course they have. I mean, my Kaiju, look at my Kaiju right now. Granted, that was a little different. We did kind of like go full speed into a boulder.
It was about at this moment that he knew that he f***ed up.
Anyways, like I'm talking about, the whole point is getting out there and ripping it, and now we're suffering abuse that's well-deserved. So we're going to dive into this thing. We're going to see what it's going to take to fix this big rock. If you're interested in watching this episode from RC Guy Garage, let's just see what's up. All right. So, my question right away, which screen are you going to watch? You going to watch this one? It's this one or this one? All right, enough. I think it's funny. Because obviously this is a trigger for some people, which is still cool though, because it's getting engagement, people are getting involved, and we're all having a blast. So we took out the big rock. You know what happened if you saw the video. We do have a little bit of a steering discrepancy right here. Sound-wise, as far as this side is concerned, sounds like the servo is fine. But there's definitely some kind of a issue here. So we're going to blow this apart. I've actually never blown one of these apart, so this is going to be like the first thing here of taking one of these little bad boys apart. So I'm going to look underneath. Looks like we go, oh, it's still water in this thing. So I had left this outside. It was only like 20 degrees last night or somewhere around there. So this thing was pretty cold. Kind of still a little cold. It's warmed up a little bit. I can see there's some screws that I got to take off. The only thing is that because I've never been here before, not exactly sure how many screws I'm going to be taking off. But I'm looking here, looking like, this looks like servo. Yeah. So this would be servo right here. So probably 1, 2, 3. I believe that's servo. 1, 2, 3. I believe that's the bottom half of the servo. Yeah. I don't even know. I've never taken one of these things apart before, so need to see what the damage is here. So I'm trying to see if like that's a top plate or what that piece is. I'm not exactly sure what that is. So yeah, it looks like 1, 2. I think I need to take the front end off. I think that's possibly what needs to happen. So I guess I'm gonna attempt to take the front end off. So some of these screws are impacted with, you know, junk. We'll obviously have to pick those out. That's why it's good to go ahead and get yourself one of these cheap pick sets. So I am going to take 1, 2, 3 screws out. See what this is all about. Looks like it might be skid plate. There is another screw right there, but it looks like that actually goes through the skid plate. So I'm not exactly positive what that piece is right there. I am going to be using a driver. So if you have sensitive ears, just watch out. Well, it looks like that was a good one to take out. Thing is huge. All right. So all three of these screws are the same exact piece. And then let's see what that did. What did that do? Did that do anything? Still some stuff holding on. So I'm not exactly sure about that screw right there. I suppose I could just pop it out, see what happens. That was a short one. And stuff is still kind of attached here. So it looks like through here, there's actually two small holes right in the bumper that you can throw a thing in there. So let's see what gets in there. See that? Check that out. Literally goes all the way through. That is pretty slick. All right. So that goes all the way through. And I believe that is this one. Check that out. That is pretty slick. And the screws literally fall right out. That's awesome. So that piece, I think, should come off. Yep, there we go. All right. That was easy. And it's hinged. See what's going on the bottom. But see how this is hinged right here? So that's a hinged piece. So looks like things are separating. All right, so literally all that is just a skid plate. So that skid plate was only held on for the bottom with these two screws right here. So, whoops, 1, 2, and then the hinged part of the front bumper, which is pretty cool. I like that idea. All right, so that's that. Looks like the rest of this is all one piece. So those I didn't need to take out, or did I? I'm not sure. Looks like the transmission case is separating. I'm going to go after these two screws right here because I think these two screws, I think these hold on to the servo. Okay, that was really a small screw. So something's going on. So there's another screw here. And another screw there, but that looks like that goes like through the chassis. So let's see what happens here. Has anything kind of come apart yet? It looks like the diff case is separated. All right, so that screw needs to come out too. So that larger screw that's right there, that also needs to come out. And of course, that's a different size. It's another one of those long ones. Whoa, there we go. That's it. So that removes the whole front end. So the only thing that's now holding this together, the only thing that's stopping this from coming apart now is my links. So I think I'm going to go ahead and disconnect my links here and here. So I'm checking to see as if I had to even take this top piece off. And that's I'm not sure of. I'm not sure if it was necessary to take that whole piece off. So it looks like I'd have to take the link arms off and the shocks. But if I go ahead and I attack this front section, I can pull the pins, and then this whole thing, I believe, should pop right out. So I'll be able to take the whole front suspension off by doing that. So pull this little retainer pin, grab something to grab my things here with, the pins. It came out nice and easy. I'm using needle nose, so I'm not using like the right tool. All right. What if I grab the right tool? So grab this. This will actually grab it a little bit better. And then I believe this whole thing should pop away. Yeah, there we go. Drive shaft. Disconnect that. Pull the whole tranny out. Pop that out. Pop that out. And there we go. I have never seen what one of these look like. So I'm gonna keep this out of the dirt. So I'm gonna remove the actual transmission piece, or the differential. Call it transmission, but it's just a diff. So this is all plastic, and it definitely looks to me like it's sufficiently lubed, which is great. So I'm going to put this in a paper towel. So I'm just going to wrap that part in a paper towel and just do that with it, keep it away. Get a look at the underside here. Yeah, I want to say that was sufficiently lubed, man. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a lot, but it was definitely doing its job. But I will do my traditional lubrication that I do in these things. I'm not seeing any contaminants inside. I'm not seeing any ingress of anything. No water, no nothing. That is pretty good. Just found a screw on the floor. I don't know what that was from. It looks like it matches that. It's probably the screw from the steering. So now we can get a good look at what's going on here. But this is also going to address another... It's the piece. So there we go. That's the piece that broke. Right there. I didn't even notice how it was in there. So it looks like it was in there like this. Yeah. So it was in there like that. It's kind of keyed. So you can definitely see that it's keyed in place. It actually has bearings. That is pretty cool. The other section, or the other part that I wanted to talk about was this right here. All right, I'm going to pull out the drive shaft. I want to show you something. So while this vehicle has what's called sealed bearings, right? They're very careful with their wording. Right now, this is not acting as a bearing. This is literally acting as like, I don't know, a sleeve. So this is actually doing nothing at this point in time. Reason why is because this is a shielded bearing and not a rubber sealed bearing. So this being so open to all the elements, this bearing failed. I don't even know when, but I noticed that the last time that I had this thing apart and I was checking it out, I had pulled the drive shaft out, I had noticed that this bearing had already failed. Now, there's an O-ring on this side. I'm not sure why there's an O-ring here, other than maybe it's so that the bearing doesn't slip off when you're taking it off. That's a possibility. But slide this bearing off, you can see that it's actually wearing on the shaft itself. So eventually I may have to replace this. The smart thing to do right now would be to take this bearing that is completely locked. Put this in my juice that I use and see if I can get this bearing to unlock just for a temporary solution. The other thing that I may do, wrap this here just as kind of like a, kind of almost like a flexible shim, and then maybe slide this bearing on. I'm not like sure. This thing is pretty loose anyways. I might just leave it the way it is. I don't even know. But the thought was maybe to take some tape, kind of wrap this up and see what happens. But then again, I might not. So I'm going to take this bearing, I'm going to put it in the juice, and we're going to see if this thing will unlock, because right now it's rocking side to side like it's chunked up with just junk. So put this in the juice and we'll see what happens. So this is my juice. Basically all this is just a solvent. I'm going to take the bearing, throw it inside, put the cap on, and swirl it up. You know why I did that. So hopefully that worked. The other thing you have to be very careful of, I probably should have smashed this thing with my rubber mallet like I usually do, just so I make sure that I didn't get any contaminants in there, because I'm not seeing anything that bypassed this, which that is pretty crazy, man. That means that this is built like pretty well. At least I want to say it's built pretty well. All right, so now I need to somehow be able to get to the servo, which it looks as though if I flip this thing upside down and I flex the servo, there we go. So there's an access hole right here to go ahead, I think. Yeah, little access hole to go ahead and get that link. So technically, it doesn't look like I really had to take, at least I think I didn't have to take that centerpiece off, or these pieces. All right. Oh, there it is. So the only thing that broke was this little center link. So this weak center link is the only thing that broke on that. I don't want to say weak either though. But everything else is mint. The bearings feel great. I didn't check the other bearings though, did I? So the bearings on this feel great. Bearings on that feel great. So in reality, the only thing that I need to replace is this centerpiece. And I don't think that this centerpiece is available. I do, however, know that Jenny's RC does actually sell this piece right here. So let's go check Jenny's real quick and see what Jenny's has to offer. And then we'll check AMain as well. All right, so we're going to jump into my favorite company right here. What's the name of that? It's called AMain. The biggest RC shop. All right, just wanted to jump in here real quick. I'm going to go right up to the top here. I'm going to type in ARRMA Big Rock. And there we go. Now we went through this before. Just going to hit on the big rock. I'm going to go to parts. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click all just in case. And looking for steering. Bam, right there, $3.99. So there's all the parts that I would need to fix the big rock. $4. ships in 24 hours, in stock online, and $1.99 flat rate shipping. So some people have said, hey, go to Jenny's. Okay, I'm going to go to Jenny's right now. Actually, I need to go to eBay. And I'm going to type in Jenny's or JRC, I think it is. How about Jenny's? Okay, how about Jenny's RC? Oop. That's not what I was looking for. How about ARRMA Big Rock? God, gotta watch out for stuff. All right, so I'm obviously not signed in on my thing right now. Pretty sure this is Jenny's right here. I'm just gonna punch on that real quick. Is this Jenny's? I don't even know. How do I find out? Monster trucks. eBay listing. Oh, see this. Oh. Oh yeah, JRC. Okay, right there. So now go to store home, maybe. Is that right? Type in ARRMA Big Rock. On the phone, it's way easier. And there we go. Chopping up RCs since 2003. So Jenny's would sell me that piece. Is that it? 3X? So they actually come with the servo saver piece. And that's complete. That's bearings, which I don't need. The shafts. $2.79 comes with everything. $4.95 for shipping. Buy it now. See what happens. So the total with tax will be $7.91. What is that? Deals are available? You see that? No buyer's remorse here. We didn't find any codes. Okay. So $7.91 would be for that. If I had a code, I could enter a code. So $7.91 versus add to cart. We can see there's something else in there. I may actually have to go the AMain way. So I'm going to click continue. And I didn't see that there was anything else that the Big Rock needed. The only thing that I didn't check is while I was there, I did not check and see if there was any issue with the servo saver piece. I didn't check that. I should go downstairs right now and give that a check and make sure nothing's stripped out. So we know we basically just needed the plastic pieces. I'm going to pull this thing in. The only thing I didn't know, I'm going to say no. By the way that's operating just right now, I'm going to say that we're okay. And I'm not going to spend the extra money if I don't need it. Now, I don't mind supporting Jennies, but honestly, not this time. The steering servo piece, that actually sounds fine. The servo sounds fine. I think we're good. Now let's just check the bearing to see if we've been able to resolve the little bearing issue that this thing had. Remember to always wear gloves when you're messing around with stuff like this. Still junked up. See? Needs more swirl time. But here's what I'm going to say. Right now, I'm actually going to not waste my time because we've already got an order going with AMain. Let's go back upstairs and we're going to check out and see what we're going to see. Like, can I get that bearing actually from AMain and hopefully sealed, not factory original, because the factory original is not a sealed bearing. It's a shielded bearing, and that's no good. So let's go back up and check it out. All right. So back on AMain. And I have to do just a little bit of quick research. What is that? The only thing I think I wish that these guys did, I wish there was a way to see the schematic. But for some reason, I'm thinking that might actually be the part. So what did I say that was? It was a 10 by... So that is the 10 by 15 by 4. That could be it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right into ARRMA. Go to the 50 plus cars. Go all the way down to Big Rock. Interactive exploded view, because we're online. I think that might do it. So I'm not sure where the drive shaft is. So what if I make this big? And where's the drive? There it is. Drive shaft. There's the bearing right there. So that's actually the bearing. So it's AR610018. Let's click on that. So it's 15 by 21 by 4. So let's highlight that. 15 by 21 by 4. Copy it. Go back to AMain. Paste it. Let's see what they come up with. 15 by 21 by 4, right there. Traxxas? I don't think so. And then we got this right here. Mudgeon. $8. It's 2 of them. Brings me to $26.97. Is that bearing really necessary? Yeah, it is. All right, so there we go. There's the answer. So to fix what I've got going on right now with my Big Rock, granted that is 2 bearings, so I can cut that in half. The steering part set's $3.99. The Hot Racing aluminum pivot ball set, $14.99. That's not bad, because I'm technically getting 2 upgrades and 1 broken part. And I can buy it now. And here's the other question. Upgrades. Because I did say we were going to go look at upgrades. So it's back out of here a couple times. We get back to Big Rock. We're going to go to option parts. Click all. Now, something I know that is starting to become a slight issue, but it's really not that big of a deal, are drive shafts. Not the actual drive shaft, but the end piece. And I know you can actually buy the end pieces, but we're not broken yet. The other thing is buying a metal gear. So there's a hot racing gear right here. Granted, that's back ordered. That's a 57 tooth. This one is hot racing. BLX. Back order. Here's something. Back order for those pieces too. Bummer, man. Here's the other piece that I was considering just a little bit. It's 40 bucks. Do I at this point in time need $40 worth of candy for a big rock? I think for now I'm going to say no. The only reason why I'm going to say no is because what's it compatible with? It's compatible with all these vehicles. Why am I going to say no right now? Because that breakage was deserved, and I've really beaten this truck a fair amount. I really don't think I need to have that kind of an upgrade for this truck. That's like, how much is that? That's 40 bucks. That's like an eighth of the cost of the truck for an upgrade. Yes, I know I did do these pieces, which were 30 bucks, but that was no big deal either. Should the Big Rock get red body pins? Let's check it out. Hot Racing red body clips. Nah, you know what? These are junk. Can already tell. No, that's what I'm saying. You can get in trouble. You get a whole bearing set, but we're good with bearings. We're good literally with everything. I think the only thing that I may have to consider at some point is this metal gear. But obviously you can see through right now, at least through AMain, it's not currently available. So I don't know what the difference is here. Why is there two different kind of looking gears, but it's like the same thing? You can see the slipper pad goes in there. Is the stock number the same? Didn't see. Let's check this one. So stock number of that is 257 point mod 0.8 57 tooth ARRMA 110. Why are there two listings? Is it literally the same exact thing? STFF. Ah, it's the same exact thing. Isn't that funny? So what's the difference here? 32, 32, all this stuff. This is a hot racing, optional spur gear. This one is a direct fit upgrade. It's kind of confusing. This one does not say it's a direct fit. Replaces factory spur, black oxide. Can use factory slipper pads. Okay, well, what's the difference? They're both 3S BLXs. Why do they do this? Compatible with factory or hot racing. Uses factory. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. All right, so obviously you can see what we did here. I'm going to end this. Obviously you can see what we did. We dove into the Big Rock. We went on to Jenny's. We went on to AMain. For me right now, AMain is going to be the source. I didn't need all the extra like little other pieces. I didn't need the bearings. I didn't need the standoffs or the posts. We checked out an upgrade. The upgrade was 40 bucks. Now, at this point in time, not necessary. That was a crash into a tree and a pile of junk. So I'm satisfied with the stock part. Saved myself a couple of bucks. Got a couple of things coming. $1.99 flat rate shipping. And it's literally going to be on its way as soon as I end this video. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this episode from Rusty Guy Garage. Basically just diving back into the ARRMA Big Rock, finding out its slight little weaknesses, and we're just going to keep pushing forward. Eventually this truck is going to need other upgrades. We did look into the metal spur gears. Kind of an oddity with hot racing that they have two different part numbers, but things seem to kind of align. I don't know. Maybe I need to do more reading. I have no idea. So, not out, but you should get out. And like I always say, just point blank, get out there and rip it. Don't be afraid to go ahead and buy yourself one of those big rocks. I heard Earl Moorhead really likes them.